Chaos has engulfed the streets of Hong Kong during another round of violent pro-democracy protests. Demonstrators armed themselves with an array of weapons, including arrows and petrol bombs, as they tried to keep control of the Polytechnic University. One officer is being treated in hospital after being hit in the leg with an arrow. Protesters have barricaded themselves inside the university, setting a bridge on fire in an effort to prevent police advancing on their stronghold. The standoff saw officers deploy tear gas and water cannon to try and gain control of the situation. Hong Kong police are now threatening to use live ammunition on rioters if more violence occurs. The rallies mark some of the worst unrest the territory's seen since demonstrations began now 6 months ago.
Protesters have never been this vulnerable, slewing off the toxic mix of tear gas and water cannon. They are completely cut off, and the police have threatened to open fire. Not rubber bullets, but live ammunition. This is Polytechnic University's last stand. All day long, the net had been tightening as police moved to block every exit. The protesters' weapons are not as sophisticated, but they are vicious. Alongside petrol bombs, they have bows and arrows. This police officer was shot through the calf. The light died, the violence only intensified. Protesters set 2 bridges ablaze, overlooking a key route. Their firepower is formidable. We watched on as an armoured police vehicle advanced. It came under a fiery hail and retreated. Police set a deadline. Everyone out by 10 p.m. Those left would face the consequences. Yet still they raged.
This is after the first attack, after the police gave their deadline. These are people who are stuck here inside this university, and it's a sort of the walking wounded. Massive tear gas attack. Even up here you can still feel the sting in your throat. Lots of people sorry, getting washed down. You can see quite livid marks on their skin. This is only the first of what is going to be a long series of assaults tonight, maybe longer.
One phrase protesters here inside kept using was endgame. The other was Tiananmen. It is a dread word. But amid the defiance, amid the fear, hope that the worst will not come to pass.
These are live pictures from Hong Kong, where we know that special police have raided the Polytechnic University. This was apparently that raid just before dawn, as protesters held basically an all-night standoff with authorities. But we're hearing out of Hong Kong that that raid had happened but before dawn. These are live pictures coming to us now with the aftermath of the fire, the violence that has gripped that university. About 200 anti-government demonstrators had been in or around the university throughout the day. It saw firing of arrows and the throwing of petrol bombs at police, who deployed tear gas and water cannon. Officers were repelled by the fire. Now, as I say, we've seen reports out of Hong Kong that they've stormed the campus as this standoff stretched now into the morning on Monday. Police had given protesters an ultimatum to leave, threatening to use live bullets if rioters carry out more violence, as the territory suffers some of the worst unrest in the 6 months of demonstrations. Protesters took up positions on rooftops overnight of this university, armed, as I said, with the bows and arrows. One officer hit with an arrow. Some demonstrators retreated inside the Polytechnic University. Others set fire on nearby bridges, and we see the aftermath there. We'll stay across that this morning in the wake of what we believe was a police raid to clear that university of the anti-government protesters, but obviously still some mingling about on this Monday morning in Hong Kong.